The most advanced technology in existence is not external. It is encoded into every atom of your being. Your body is not an obstacle. It is an energetic instrument, a mystical temple, a bioenergetic interface built to transmit and translate consciousness itself. Consciousness is not passive. It is the signal, the source, and the code. It does not live in the mind. It moves through the field. You are here to awaken into it, to reclaim your design. Your body is sacred biotecture, a living architecture of consciousness and light, divine intelligence rendered into living form. But before we can hope to operate it in its full capacity, we must first dissolve the filters that separate us from it. We must let go of every idea we've inherited, every thought that tried to shrink the infinite into something graspable, every name and theory, framework that told us what consciousness is, and in doing so, fractured our direct experience of it. Because consciousness cannot be held in language, it cannot be reduced to parts, it cannot be captured in thought. It is the seer behind all that is seen, the knowing behind all knowing, and it is vibrating right now within you. My name is Melissa, and I am a Compassion Key, Reiki, and Meditation Master, and on this channel, we explore the psycho-emotional intricacies of being a conscious human and some of the challenges and triumphs you can look forward to on this journey. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe because that encourages the platform to offer it up to those who might benefit from hearing it. The human body, your body, is a sacred interface designed to access the full spectrum of reality through consciousness itself. This is not science fiction. This is the ancient intelligence, AI, of the future we are reawakening to and tapping into right now. How do we fully access this inherent power of consciousness itself? First, we have to filter through all the ideas that limit our perception of what it is and what it is not. Let's begin with the first barrier to unlocking this capacity: definitions. The moment we define something, name it, box it, explain it, we fix its position. We reduce the infinite to the knowable, the sacred to the structured. And this is where we begin to lose access to the vast, measureless, timeless, sacred expanse of truth. Most people aren't blocked from accessing consciousness because they're incapable. They're disconnected from it because they're too attached to what they think it is. This attachment becomes a filter and delineation, and these are the first firewalls against expansion. We inherited thousands of years of ideas about consciousness, that it's inside the brain, that it's the product of neurons, that it ends when the body dies, that it can be understood. But true consciousness, it can't be known or seen in the usual way. It's not an object. It's the knower of objects, the seer of all that is seen. And the scriptures say it is beyond the mind, beyond words. You can't point to what it is. You can only point around it to what it is not. Netty, netty, not this, not this. Because the moment you name it, you break it apart into separate pieces, distancing yourself from its primordial whole and all-encompassing completeness. Separation is the great illusion and the most convincing obstacle of all. Consciousness appears to fragment itself, to play on the stage of form. It wears veils and limitations, identity, ego, in order to experience itself from inside your physical body. This is part of the design. However, when we forget that we're playing within the field of consciousness, the veils, they become prisons. We believe that this person, this personality and human life is the whole being, and that the field is out there or it doesn't exist at all. When in truth, you are the field of consciousness itself. You are the spanda, the vibratory quality of existence. You are the one observing the illusion and also participating in its generation. The more we identify with and attach to this illusion, the harder it is to interface with the vastness and eternality that lies behind it. Kashmir Shaivism goes into great detail about the nature of consciousness. In its teachings, consciousness is not a passive witness. It is Shiva, the unmoving ground of being itself, from which the ever-dancing, ever-creating force, Shakti, springs forth. Shiva expresses through 5 acts: Shrishti, creation; Shtiti, sustenance; Samhara, dissolution; Tirobhava, concealment; and Anugraha, grace. These 5 acts are not mythological. They were revealed to us as such to light up our imagination and awaken symbolic sight. They're happening within you right now, through every movement, every breath, every thought, every shift of perception. In this system, our experience of separation is shaped by veils, subtle distortions and enclosures known as the kanchukas and the malas and the kleshas. These are conditions of forgetfulness that set the stage for the game of remembering. As we purify and reattune the body-mind field, we begin to dissolve these veils, and our true nature, Sat Chitananda, pure being, consciousness, and bliss, begins to shine through. Consciousness is not static. It is spanda, a living vibration, a throb of dynamic awareness that moves and expresses as the entirety of existence. This creative pulsation is what gives rise to everything, from galaxies to goosebumps, from time to transcendence. To access the technology of consciousness is not to merely remember you are it, though that is a step in the right direction. Aligning yourself with this technology, you begin to move with it, as it, with a previously unrealized deep precision and creative agency. We are on the precipice of an evolution of biology which transforms the body into an interface. Full embodiment in form is about activating the body as the sacred interface it was always meant to be. Your pineal gland is not just a gland, it's a lens, a portal to higher dimensions and subtle perception, a spiritual antenna that receives impressions, subtle insights, and inner vision from beyond the veil. Your gut isn't just for digestion, it's an oracle, sensing resonance and what is felt in the field before the brain rationalizes it. It's a source of deep knowing, producing and regulating neurotransmitters that affect perception and intuition. Your fascia isn't just connective tissue, it's a morphic resonance field, an electrically conductive web of connective tissues that store vibrational patterns and is the medium through which chi, prana, and etheric energy moves. When you detoxify your body, nourish your cells, and breathe intentionally and clear emotional trauma, you become a clear conduit for consciousness to express itself through form. Many speak now of the body becoming crystalline, a shift toward a lighter, more refined structure, capable of holding higher frequency awareness. This is part of the larger 3D to 5D transition, where density gives way to fluidity, where the nervous system and cellular structure evolve to interface with a finer field of information. While we'll explore this more deeply in another video, for now, understand that you are not becoming less human. You are becoming a more luminous receiver and transmitter. Some of this is self-directed. We can cultivate this through meditation and breath work and mantra and purification. Some of it is grace, anugraha, descending, a gift of readiness, spontaneous activations, initiations, and transmissions. But none of it is random. Your biology is evolving. Your field is upgrading. You are remembering how to be the bridge between source consciousness itself and form. The full spectrum function of our biology includes what seem from our current perspective to be miraculous abilities like time travel, instantaneous manifestation, and the inner-outer delineations becoming more porous and permeable. When consciousness becomes fully awake and accessible in the body, we move beyond intention and into resonant directives. We begin to cohere reality through the vibrational precision of self-directed yet thoughtless knowing. This is where we touch Merkaba-based travel, energetic light body navigation, time-space unfolding, non-linear memory, premonition, and probability threading, quantum manifestation, where inner thought, feeling, and intention create outer reality in real time, liquid field perception, where the boundary between inner and outer dissolves. We have seen hints of this in ancient temples and sacred geometry, Atlantean mythologies, and plasma physics. And now, the veil is thinning again. We are being prepared to interface not just spiritually, but technologically with the deeper currents of field intelligence. There are natural forces and beings that are helping this process, and some that are not. Many beings, seen and unseen, are involved in and supporting human awakening. You may refer to them as angels or devas or interdimensionals, ancestors, light workers, or starseeds. There are also systems of distortion that are still very active, energetic, cultural, technological, and even parasitic forces that benefit from us remaining stuck in a limited state of consciousness. One clear indicator that clearing is still needed is the propensity to be pulled into fear-based realities, domination structures, scarcity spirals, carrying the emotional gravity of collapse. These frequencies hook into unhealed distortions still active in the field. And as we clear those distortions, whether karmic, ancestral, or egoic, their resonance weakens. What once triggered you loses its charge. The broadcast of fear no longer attaches to your awareness, and you just notice it passing by. Hey, there's that fear again, and there it goes. It has nothing to attach to, right? And your clarity becomes the protection, your presence, the firewall. Because not all limitations are organic, right? Some are imposed, some are invited or agreed to, some are inherited, but none of it is eternal, and none of it is more powerful than awakened consciousness. This is why discernment matters. This is why clearing the field is your most important work, because your sovereignty creates a clear signal that increasingly attracts higher support. Over the next 5 to 10 years, we are going to be seeing accelerated awakenings and spontaneous remembrances. More people speaking of experiences that defy linear logic. Systems of control either disintegrating or becoming more obvious so they can be dismantled. And in the midst of that, people like you will be holding the code. There is a vast, undefined, and undifferentiated field that lies beyond this sense of separation that you have been holding on to so dearly. The space beyond thinking, beyond seeking, beyond everything you currently perceive as possible, beyond even spiritual association, is a place where you no longer need to access consciousness because you are resting in it as it. There. Time is an imaginary construct only useful here on earth. Fear is irrelevant and insignificant, and reality flows like water, moved by the quiet impulse of joy and beauty and inspiration and alignment. I'm not talking about a state or stage or mystical experience that exists in time as we know it. I'm talking about a direct experience of the originary, native, cosmic expanse of a boundless continuum. In this field, your perception, your awareness, as it expresses itself through the body, becomes the control panel to the technology itself. You don't bend or shape reality. Reality responds to you and moves to meet you because it is you. How do we open this portal to the inevitable? So we have arrived at this access point to the kind of vast and expansive complete integration of our physical being with our higher, unfathomable consciousness. So let me ask you now, what parts of you still cling to the usefulness of separation? What truth have you always known that you are now ready to live? What if everything you seek in the external world is actually a function waiting to be activated from within you? And what becomes possible when we stop trying to empower ourselves and begin embodying integration? What if the universe is already listening to the version of you that has fully awakened? What if you already possess the technology and the codes are waiting to be remembered? What if you are now learning how to use the technology of consciousness, but remembering what it feels like to allow that current to run through you? What if the time for transcendence has passed and the new initiation benchmark is embodied mastery? You don't need to become anything else. Your awareness, expressing itself through your body, exists in a larger field. Your body is the interface mechanism. The future is coming online right now. None of this is random. Your biology is evolving into a highly conductive structure. Your access to the field is being upgraded. We are standing in a new territory now, not because we built it, but because we are remembering it and dismantling the structures that have kept us from accessing it. And the path forward, it doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for participation. It asks us to live with the questions, to open to the opening. Let these questions echo. Let them spiral. Let them live in your field like keys, slowly turning in doors you were taught to believe never even existed. You don't need to rush or force. You are not here to escape the human experience. We are evolving it from the inside out. Welcome to the next layer. Welcome to the remembrance. And welcome to the technology of consciousness. Thank you for joining me today. If this stirred something inside of you, please like and comment and subscribe to signal to the algorithm that this kind of content belongs in the field. Okay? Until next time.